We were talking about, right before we got distracted, we were talking about mutually agreed divorces being the
Correct.
fastest. What if they're not mutually agreed upon?
An acrimonious divorce
Yeah.
can take forever.
What is forever? Like 5 years?
Maybe 10.
But 10. Like 10 is the outer limit?
No, there is no outer limit.
There could be 20.
It could be 20, it could be 22. Recently there was a case where they approached the Supreme Court. I think they had been married forever. And I think the case was going on for about 22 years because...
What's keeping 22 years? Like, ऐसा क्या
the husband was 88, wife was 83. Eventually, they didn't get a divorce.
I mean, at that point, you might as well just get like
Yeah,
a
but you
hospital.
see, that's what she said. She says, I don't want to die. I'd rather die a widow than a divorcee. So, which also makes you understand that what is the stigma around divorce. It also makes you understand, coming to your previous statement, that there is a fear psychosis around marriage because there is no information. Information isn't forthcoming. And where information isn't forthcoming, stigmas persist.
Yeah. Right.
So that divorce has not come through, and it's taken such a long time. There was another matter that I was handling. I didn't handle it for the entirety, but that matter was going on almost 16 years. So that's a really long time.
What are we negotiating in 16 years? Like, is it like
I
kitna paisa
think it
dunga
is.
main?
No, I think in the end it just becomes about large inflated egos
From both sides or
from both sides,
Uh-huh.
and also one hurt, which was let's say that hurt was 1 centimeter. By the time everybody has contributed to that hurt, every year the size of that wound increases. So you can't get over that wound.
No, but there still has to be a yes and no, na? Ki matlab, she's saying, okay, I want a divorce, I want this much money, and I'm saying no. Is that what is keeping it? Like, what's the last decision that's holding it together?
Let's say sometimes it's money.
Okay.
Sometimes it is, I know someone who got stuck on, I will not sign the papers till he apologizes to me.
For real?
For real?
तो मतलब खुद को भी फ्री कर रहा, क्या कर लेगा वो अपोलोजाइज करके भी तेरे को प्राइवेटली, खुद तो फ्री हो. नाउ यू हैव अ लाइफ अहेड ऑफ यू, नो.
But people forget that. There's something that I say, that divorce is a subset of our life, not vice versa. My life is not a subset of divorce. That's how, I look at my journey through life,
Right.
And when again, I just want to say that if it wasn't for my upbringing, eventually what pushed me out of that abusive marriage was I just said, this is not how my dad raised me.
Right.
So if it wasn't for that, I restarted my life with just $750 in my bank account.
No, because divorces also involve a settlement, no? Ki
Yeah,
like
but I just restarted. That's the time I was pushed out of my matrimonial home. I restarted my life. I had no money, and I speak about it very openly. I've spoken about it in my books. I've spoken about it in my columns, and I just had to restart that life. And then I went forward. I started India's first support group for people going through divorce. I was counseling people. I wrote a book which I have spoken about earlier. Then BBC made a documentary about me, which is called
real?
Yes, it's called Invisible Women of India, and it speaks about my journey. And then BBC did further other programs about me. I'm featured on quite a few of the BBC programs.
Were you already a lawyer then?
No.
Oh, this happened after.
Yeah.
This is a strength you've picked up from your injury.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have this hypothesis, maybe it's too trivial to say it here. I say our traumatic events shape the destiny we have in life, because we have the option to either surrender to them or, incorporate them in our newer self. And so very often what will happen is you'll be injured in this way you never thought. And to recover from it, you will arm up, gear up, muscle up, or however you want to frame it, in a way that will become a driving force in your future. Is that what happened to you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because losing was never an option.
Right.
But I have to be a winner in my own eyes.
Right.
I may have lost in the divorce because I actually didn't take any alimony as a matter of pride. Okay. But in my life, I became a winner.
Right.
Because for me, that was important.
Right, right.
You know, to walk out and to have my self-respect, my everything intact.
Right, 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 right.
You know, I think
My spirit
that
intact.
my spirit, like I write about it and I say, I just had $750 in my bank account, but $1 billion worth of dreams. You know, I mean, come on. From there, I don't think I would have pursued writing full time. You know that I'm writing also.
Yes.
And I've written two books already. I've translated a third book. Maybe I've written over 1,000 articles for various platforms like Huffington Post and Dainik Bhaskar and a bit of Times of India, a bit of Mumbai Mirror, BBC, everything the works. Okay, but after that, I also started practicing my law. You know, and also, of course, I don't think BBC would have been interested in making a movie about my life just because I was married to someone rich or I was married, you know. So I just think that, coming to your question, I think that also became a part of my life,
Right.
you know, and it gave me the propulsion to become a winner. I could have sat and sobbed.
Right.
But it's not that I haven't sobbed. It's not that I have not cried in private. It's not that I haven't faced depression. In one of my things, I write that divorce, death, and depression. But, you know, they do go hand in hand. So you have to keep pushing yourself to come out of that. But you have to have that strength yourself to keep going and keep at it. And you know, I mean, now today my journey has led me here. I mean, like I've written for one of Priyanka Chopra's Netflix films. It's called Firebrand, and it's I'm the divorce law consultant there. You know, so I've done that. I mean, you know, of course, I have spoken about my books.
I actually want to get to your book, the one that you're publishing. It's soon, right?
Pretty soon.
Pretty
yeah,
soon. It's
pretty
called
soon.
Pali Hill Divorce.
Yeah, it's called PhD.
Very clever.
Okay.
So clever. I love it.
गाइज अगर ये सुन के आपको भी लगा वाओ मैं भी ऐसे सोचना चाहता हूँ मैं सीखना चाहता हूँ ऐसे कैसे सोचते हैं तो क्या करना है सब्सक्राइब का बटन सब्सक्राइब